words helps us to express our feelings, viewpoints, etc. The tongue is like a double-edged sword. It can utter both positive words that can create enthusiasm and negative words that can create chaos. Many leaders are able to speak wonderful words, but they are unable to walk the practice or talk or practice what they preach. The lessons in this unit convey the importance of symbiotic relationship between words and deeds. Jawaharlal Nehru was a close associate of Gandhi and was a great admirer of Mahatma. According to Nehru, arrival of Gandhi into Indian politics came at a time when the country was in dire need of such a leadership. According to Nehru, Gandhi came into political scene of India at a time when there was no good leaders to pull India out of the quagmire of poverty and defeatism. His timely arrival served as a powerful current of fresh air that made us stretch ourselves and take deep breaths. Gandhiji influenced millions of people in India in different degrees. Different people reacted differently at this situation. Some people were ready to comprehend the change. Others were not ready to have a total change. At this time Gandhiji came with a twofold action. One was to challenge and resist the foreign rule, and the other was to fight against our social evils. At this time the fundamental objective of the Congress was to attain political freedom. As a result of Gandhiji's influence, several people were ready to give up their titles. People did not respect British titles. New values and a new way of life were implemented with the powerful leadership of Gandhiji. Many people adopted simpler ways and wore simple dresses. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, more commonly known as Mahatma, meaning great soul, was born in Porbandar, Gujarat, in northwest India, on 2 October 1869, into a Hindu mode family. His father was the chief minister of Porbandar, and his mother's religious devotion meant that his upbringing was infused with the Jain pacifist teachings of mutual tolerance, non-injury to living beings, and vegetarianism. Born into a privileged caste, Gandhi was fortunate to receive a comprehensive education, but proved a mediocre student. In May 1883, aged 13, Gandhi was married to Kasturba Mukherjee, a girl also aged 13, through the arrangement of their respective parents, as is customary in India. Following his entry into Samaldas College, at the University of Bombay, she bore him the first of 4 sons, in 1888. Gandhi was unhappy at college, following his parents' wishes to take the bar, and when he was offered the opportunity of furthering his studies overseas, at University College London, aged 18, he accepted with alacrity, starting there in September 1888.
The freedom struggle. Men who are known for their peaceful methods, such as Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramhans, Aurobindo Ghosh, Rabindranath Tagore, and many others, started spreading the word to the people that everyone must be passionate about gaining freedom. After World War I, the British imposed stricter legislation in India to curb the people they felt were political extremists. While all hope was diminishing, emerged a man whom the country began to revere, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Gandhi became the undisputed leader of the freedom struggle. He advocated the policy of satyagraha and civil disobedience. Mahatma Gandhi, as he was known, inspired millions to follow in his path. His vision took the freedom struggle to the national level. On 13th April 1919, the British, led by General Dyer, massacred hundreds of unarmed civilians, including women and children, who were attending a meeting. This incident is known as the Jallianwala Bagh tragedy in Amritsar, which triggered off nationwide hatred for the British rule. In response, Gandhi launched the non-cooperation movement. He urged the people to refuse to pay taxes and forsake British titles and honours. This was a serious problem for the government. Gandhi embarked on a mission of about 400 kilometers from Ahmedabad to Dandi, famously known as the Dandi March. And at Dandi, the law was broken by making salt from seawater. The British responded by making widespread arrests and firing on the crowds. Gandhi too was sent to jail a number of times. Armed rebellions against the British continued to grow in several parts of India. Leaders such as Bhagat Singh and Chandrasekhar Azad led acts of violence against the British, but soon the revolutionary activities died down.
Prabhat Kumar, 1873–1932, a younger contemporary of Rabindranath Tagore, was a popular writer, especially of short stories in Bengali. He was educated in India and in England, but his literary idols, apart from Tagore, were from France, Balzac and Maupassant. He was also known as Prabhat Kumar. Though Prabhat Kumar was a novelist, he was mainly a creator of short stories. His short stories are mainly based on situation. His literary works were included in the curriculum of school-level, secondary, higher secondary and graduation-level Bengali literature in Bangladesh. Words and deeds have a soothing impact on weak and suffering human beings, and they cement the bonds of relationships between the speaker and the listener. The story by Prabhat Kumar describes how a simple English family was saved from the mental agony through the gentle words of an Indian. This story imparts many strong feelings in the mind of the readers. The narrator of this story meets this little girl named Alice and has a lot of sympathy for her and her mother. Alice works as a typist and her mother make cakes to sell them on Saturdays. Because the narrator is an Indian, the mother and daughter expect that he might be able to see a distant person in the ring, and what is he doing? The narrator realizes that this superstition is not only confined in India. The narrator is not able to see anything in the ring, but later on in the story when we see that the mother is ill, then the author lies that his brother is okay. After some time the news of the death of the brother comes and the narrator is ashamed, so he don't go to them, and the time for his return to India comes. Then in the morning of his last day in London, Maggie comes to say goodbye to him and gives a shilling which she earned with so much hard work so that he could buy flowers for her brother's grave. One of the most important points that we notice from this story is that it gives a brief but clear idea about the difference between the culture of India and London. In the story the author says about all the superstitious beliefs in India. Also the author clears the doubts they had about India, that there are many snakes, tigers and fevers in India. There are lots of specialties for each of the characters. Among them the most important one is Maggie, the young girl. She is a very able girl. Her talents are depicted in the story very clearly. Overall this is a very touching story. Death the Leveler is a hauntingly philosophical poem about the dismal march of death that tramples down human pride and pomp. It presents a vividly personified picture of death as the ultimate conqueror in whose realm perfect equality prevails. The poem opens, reminding the reader of the futility of taking pride in one's birth and state. No armor offers protection from the merciless hands of death. The ultimate leveler comes and lays his icy hands on kings and clowns alike. The scepter and the crown of the king fall down and lie equal in the dust with the poor peasant's heathen spade. Worldly victory and success too are futile before death. Some men reap and heap enemy heads in the battlefield and win laurels to adorn their heads. They too shall bow their heads before death. But poor mortals still tame and kill one another like thoughtless beasts. Strength and courage too shall pass. We all die helpless and weak. The garlands on our heads wither and lose their charm, and the victories they once proclaimed are forgotten. We too lose our charm, and like pale captives we creep to death with a feeble murmur. Death's altar is purple and no blue blood has ever been shed there. Here the victors too are victims. The winners too are sacrificed and sent to their cold tombs. In the end, we must return to the dust from which we all came, but the good deeds of the just will blossom from the dust and smell sweet forever.